And so
What?
Cain breaks into this guy's apartment.
What?
And he looks at him, has the priesthood appear in as a dagger of light in his hand. I mean, I had some experiences in my life that have made it so that I now dedicate my house every time I move to a new place, not just out of tradition, but to protect my family.
Welcome back to Midnight Mormons, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Carton Ellis, and today we've got a really cool show. I'm joined in the studio by Dan McKinley, Brad Whitbeck, and Kwaku L, and we're going to talk about the priesthood, why you need to take it more seriously, why we need to be doing the things that the pioneers did and our ancestors did, and the miracles that the prophets performed, why we're not stepping up to the plate, how we can step up to the plate, and why spiritual warfare is a real thing. Dan McKinley, go.
Great. So the fact of the matter is that we are not taking our priesthood responsibilities seriously. And what that means, though, is that the war in heaven is continuing here on earth. Constantly, we are surrounded by Satan's minions. We're surrounded by demons. And when was the last time you heard about anyone casting out, an evil spirit in the name of Jesus Christ by the power of the Holy Melchizedek priesthood? When was the last time you heard about someone, actually blessing their house, and not just like some roundabout way, like, oh, this is just tradition that, I'm going to bless my house, like actually doing it in a way to protect their property.
Not just as like a social norm when you get the house, but like for a practical purpose is what you're saying.
Yes. Like when was the last time you were actually able to dedicate a grave in a way that, would make that grave site safe? So, and for our ancestors, they did it in terms of spiritual warfare to literally just get rid of evil demons.
Dude, just to get rid dude.
No, I'm serious. Like
I know, but it's like,
Dan, I'm with you on this. Cause I had some experiences in my life that have made it so that I now dedicate my house every time I move to a new place, not just out of tradition, but to protect my family, know? And I think there is real truth to that. And that if we reduce the power of these priesthood ordinances by pretending that they're just something purely secular, then that's what they're going to do for us. Our lack of faith is going to keep that miracle from being real. Yeah.
And I laugh. I have to clarify my position here when I laugh. I laugh not to laugh at you. I laugh because like, it's so true, but you don't hear people say it like that. And so frankly and openly that it's like almost as though it's the catharsis that you feel when a comedian says something completely true that is a social norm not to admit. And so that's what makes us laugh, all right, is because somebody says something so true in a frank and concise way that we can't help but burst forth and laugh. So when you say, like, the priesthood is real, we need to cast out freaking demons, all that shite in the Bible we should be doing because it's the same priesthood, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, I just can't help but laugh because it's like, that is something true, said in a concise manner, and there's this catharsis that bursts forth out of you. It's wild, man.
Here's how to view reality. So we believe in the war in heaven. So we believe that 1/3 of Heavenly Father's children are, Satan's minions now. Okay. But here's the thing, like people die all the time. So the vast majority of spirits that are around are not good spirits. They're evil spirits.
Ooh, okay.
So just think about this. Hypothetically, let's just say there's been 80 billion people that have lived on Earth.
Okay.
And this is really rough science, but let's just say that if 1/3 are, evil, then half as many are going to be evil. So what if there's 40 billion spirits, here on Earth?
Yeah.
That's one for, that's like 6 for each person. But here's the thing, we're LDS. So they're going to focus more on us than other people.
Oh, all the social justice warriors are like, that is such a Eurocentric and LDS-centric model and self-schema. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And dude, I I will say, Dan, I don't know. I think when the third part of the host of heaven was not necessarily like a numerical third, you know? And so I don't know that we're as positive
Yeah,
about the exact
we're
numbers.
not, but we're outnumbered.
Yes, I totally agree with that. That there's definitely a reality to the darkness around us.
So
And it's in the vision of the tree of life. I think that's part of the mists of darkness.
Exactly.
Ooh. Okay, so you're saying that the miracles spoken of in scripture and the miracles that we read about by people and pioneers only 3 and 4 generations ago need to be interpreted less through the secular lens of symbolism and more through the religious and spiritual lens of reality, okay? And that we need to step up to the plate as priesthood holders and be more like them, more brave, more spiritual, more willing to just say, yes, I do. So what does that translate into in the real world? What does that actually become, Dan McKinley?
So a lot of people are possessed, but the problem is, in this day and age, we're just like, oh, they have some kind of condition.
Yeah, we
or
let
they have
Pfizer
some
take
kind
care of it.
label.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
okay.
have Pfizer take care of it. Or maybe they have parasites or something. But like, it's something where in other societies, they would just know that something's wrong with this person. So, for example, like I lived for 2 years on my mission in a pre-materialist world, which was Cambodia, which this was a generation after the Khmer Rouge, that the killing fields that killed,
Yeah.
millions of people.
The blue
So
bags.
there were a lot of people there that wanted to, commune with the dead. Like, they had lots of questions for their dead parents, their dead relatives. There were a lot of people that you could call soothsayers or necromancers or people that were doing seances. So there are a lot of what
Wow.
I call like the dark arts. So there are a lot of places that were very more like possessed or a little bit more, just a little bit more creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And this was very, very obvious in one of the apartments that we lived in on my mission. It was an area that was known for having a lot of different supernatural or paranormal activity. And what happened was, and by the way, like no one told me and one of the other elders that moved to this area that this happened. They just want to make sure, like, oh, if we don't talk about it, no one's going to notice. So we moved in the next transfer and we started to notice things that were a little bit weird. Like, sometimes furniture would move a little bit, or sometimes like different kitchen appliances would be in a different place, or sometimes we would have like a piece of paper, or like we're working on something and it would end up in a different room. And one of the really scary things we noticed was there was a complete room in the house that we just completely ignored or we didn't have anything in it because like if anything were to stay in it, like it would just break down or crumple up or it would break.
Mm.
Really, really
So
bizarre.
if you put a
And,
chair
like,
in that room, you'd wake up the next day and the chair would be like in a disassembled
well, if you
pile of
if you
sticks.
sat on it, no, not like that. If you sat on it, it would break.
Huh.
Interesting.
Did
So
you
one of the
cast
things,
that
though,
shite out in like
yeah,
2
yeah. So
seconds or what?
yeah, well, here's the thing. Like other elders had tried to like cast stuff out a number of times, and for some reason, I just took the bathroom that was across the hall from this room that no one was using this bathroom. All the other elders shared a bathroom, and I found out later on, whenever I left that bathroom, like my stuff would like move in the bathroom. Oh, I'm
Oh,
serious.
Dude, that's creepy.
dude.
Like it was there was a reason why people didn't use that bathroom, and the elders purposely were like, okay, just don't tell Elder McKinley that this is going to happen because maybe he's not going to notice. Maybe this is just something that we're all thinking outside our head, and it's something that just like happened. So one day, like, and this was before my time, I found out that they were, with some, I think the district leaders or zone leaders or something, and they were teaching English class and they're going back to the apartment. And all of them immediately got like a prompting, like, don't go back to your apartment. So they purposely, it's past hours, but they decided to bike another 45 minutes to go to a safer apartment to like sleep that night and return the next morning and cast out some, demons. And then their apartment was fine. But this was 2 months prior to when I had lived there. So this kind of thing happened again. We walk in and we all get an impression like something's wrong, something's eerie is happening. And we open up the apartment and we try to turn on the lights. And it doesn't turn on. And we like walk in for like a foot or 2 feet and we all feel like this force field, like, oh, we can't enter. And something felt really, really off. And what happened was we kind of felt like a rushing of like wind, really, really creepy feeling. But then we decided to, do a prayer. And apparently, like, you could actually, it's more effective if you do it where like your left hand is in a certain position, your right hand is in another position that kind of resembles something that might happen.
Oh my gosh, you went there. All right.
I did. But hope some of our endowed members will understand, what reference I was making. But then we did that, and then we just straight out casted out like evil demons and stuff. And then after that happened, as soon as that happened, the light went back on. Whoa. And then it was really creepy, where it's just like, okay, we need to find a new apartment. So the next week we're like really busy, like trying to find like a new place to live. And obviously like the senior couple, like, the senior couple elder, like who was in charge of like the missionaries, like living places. He was really skeptical, like, I don't know, is this real? And we just were like, well, this apartment's really a dump, like just visit it. And the really crazy thing is like Cambodia is super, super hot, but like the apartment was always cold on the inside. It was always like, it's 105 degrees on the outside, but like inside the apartment, it's like 65 degrees.
Oh, shoot.
So he just like walked in, like this 70-year-old, senior missionary, and he's like, yeah, this place just feels a little bit off. And then we all got to move into a much, much, much nicer place.
Whoa.
Dude.
So yeah, it's real.
Dude, that's awesome.
No, one time there was really crazy stuff. Like one time, like an Area 70 like came to our mission.
What? And
no, I'm being serious. And Area 70 came to my mission, and actually no, now he's a general authority. I believe it's Elder Catcher.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, or it might not be that, but I think it's Area 70 that became a general authority. Okay. And there was a sister missionary's apartment that had a lot of stuff, like chairs were moving, like straight up stuff that was like, something out of like a horror movie. Okay. And like a 70 had to come in and bless the apartment.
All right.
So like demons, dude, like they're really interested in missionaries, but like there's certain countries though where it's much more likely to happen. So some in Africa, some in other parts of the developing world. I'm sure probably like Papua New Guinea or Haiti.
So now, how is that not just the arrogance of man thinking that, because we're civilized, we do not have those common and vulgar demons?
Oh, I don't know, Carden. I had a very similar experience to the one Dan was just talking about with his apartment.
Okay, hit it.
In Connecticut.
Okay, Connecticut.
On my mission.
Okay.
Yeah, and also Connecticut's like weirdly haunted. Like of all the states in the United States, I don't know what it is.
There's a movie called The Haunting in Connecticut.
Yeah.
That is in Connecticut. Okay, yeah, keep going.
And I mean, like there was a weird old mental asylum that was like boarded down, but no, there's a lot of weird stuff in Connecticut. But like, a very similar experience, Dan, where our missionaries, there was 4 of us in the apartment, and we kept on all waking up in the middle of the night, unable to move.
Same thing happened.
Yeah.
So all of us had the same dream, and we all woke up like we're all like there was an explosion, like we're all in a war or something, or some kind of like battleground, like maybe it was associated with the Vietnam War or something.
Oh, interesting.
But like we're like at least twice we all woke up, and then we all like literally wake up at the same time from our nightmare, look at each other, and like we thought we heard a bomb go off, but then we asked the neighbors like the next morning, and like nothing happened.
Dude,
what the heck?
Yeah. So with ours, we ended up having a couple of other experiences around it, but the way it ended was very similar with what you're talking about, where we went downstairs and went into the main room, and like we could feel this oppressiveness, like trying to press in. And so we said a prayer, and then Elder Richards, our district leader, put his arm to the square and cast it out. And the lights flickered as he did it. And then we felt the presence leave.
Yes.
And then we rededicated the building, and it didn't come back.
Dude, what building was this, dog?
This was our apartment in Connecticut.
Get out of town.
Yeah, dude. It was crazy.
I think that a lot of these demonic possessions can also, they're going to try to, they want to stay and they want to last. So they're going to try to affect you in ways that you would naturally write off. So one, like in America, we have a mental health crisis like no other. Now, if we had someone walking around with completely white eyes going, shambala bambala bum bum ba, we'd go, yeah, that guy's possessed by a demon. We would recognize that. Because you can recognize the possession of other nations, but you can't recognize them well in your own.
I just remember there was this one poor, it was like one of the most racist things Southern California ever did. Well, they imprisoned this poor Mexican grandma because she was speaking some slurred Spanish and they thought that she was just like crazy. When in reality, she's just like a woman that was looking for her family and they thought she was mentally ill. So, you know, here's Kwaku just saying, oh, shambhala blah blah. Just like who knows? He might have accidentally like quoted some kind of obscure dialect somewhere and said that like if you sound weird, then we're gonna call you mentally ill.
Well, I mean, look, the reality is you go to also New York City, Massachusetts, Connecticut, the northeastern states, and then Louisiana have a lot of demonic possession.
Yeah,
but that's because it's transplanted from often African and South American weird magic, and then European weird magic that was brought in by immigrants from both of those places. But you have possession in the suburbs, in the nice suburbs of Colorado Springs and Cypress, Texas, and Santa Clarita, California. But you know how it manifests in America? As a school shooter, as the psychopathic like athlete who kidnaps a 15-year-old ballet girl and like throws her in a like. That's the kind of possession we have. We've got horrifically creepy spirits walking around attached to people, and the people are doing really, really horrific things, but it manifests differently in different places. Because and there's certain things I'm not going to say like while we're recording, but whatever. I'll say it. I don't care. I'll say it.
Okay.
You know what? When I see someone with the freaking furry tail and ears with all the makeup in the world walking into Chick-fil-A, I go, yeah, that person's probably that person is has like a weird like a evil spirit attached. Like not not everyone's gonna be like the top dog, like they're possessed by like a kind of, because think about this. Evil spirits have their losers too. Some people imagine being possessed by a loser demon, like a demon that the other demons make fun of at the lunch table. Like, shut up, loser. Like some people have a loser demon attached.
Beelzebub. Hey, there's Beelzebub. That's Beelzebub's younger brother. Okay. Or maybe just the cast of the local regional theater's rendition of Cats just walked in and they're not possessed. They're actually quite talented.
If you audition for that, you are.
Oh my gosh.
No, but also like it's a funny thought, but like there's literally probably like, oh, Beelzebub, remember when he tried to possess the witch and he couldn't? Shut up, guys. Like that's literally probably what happens. They have their hierarchy of losers. And so there are certain people that are possessed in ways we just go, oh, whatever, it's funny. But there probably is a very strange spirit attached to him. And I'm sorry, Adolf Hitler was clearly possessed. Osama bin Laden was clearly possessed. George Bush Sr. was clearly possessed.
Oh, you think so? He was the nicest one we had.
George H.W. Bush?
One of the worst ones.
Evil man, war criminal. May he burn in hell.
You don't think Obama drone striking literally every 22 minutes for 8 years? Drone striking every 22 minutes for 8 years doesn't take that cake?
Look, Cardin, I know that you're a hardcore Republican, but I can hate one president without having to mention another. No,
I'm not even a hardcore Republican. I'm just saying, there has to be a hierarchy. I mean, that's a morphine drip of death. You know what I'm saying?
Mao Zedong is bad. Well, what about Karl Marx? Yes. Like, I can dislike both. But H.W. Bush, I think, was possessed. I can give you reasons, but we probably can't talk about why on camera.
Wow.
Oh, weird.
So
Interesting.
he was a lizard
He also
person.
killed John F. Kennedy.
You think?
What?
Yes. He
George
did.
H.W. Bush.
No,
George H.W. Bush. He
Wait,
called him
what?
that's Dan. Maybe we should just give them a list of the websites we visit, so they can just.
Please do. I am intrigued. What the heck?
He
Wait.
was in charge of the CIA, so it makes perfect sense.
Well,
Yeah,
yes,
Daddy Bush. Yeah, he was totally one of the people.
we know that he was in charge of the CIA, but you really think the CIA took out JFK because he made overtures to?
Yes.
So you don't think it was the mafia collecting all our money?
No. Mafia, like, they're lame. They're stupid. They're nobodies.
No. H.W. Bush, Daddy Bush is one of the really bad ones, and I'm very worried about this person. Actually,
Yeah.
cut that out because don't put this in. I'm worried he's one of the bad ones. But
Do you think Mitt Romney is already?
No, I think Mitt Romney's a useful idiot.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's evil. I think he just gets pushed around, and I think he's been battered too much by the right wing, and so now he's listening to the left wing, and he's like doesn't know. Yeah, that's what I think. But yeah, no. Anyway, demonic possession is real. That was a tangent, but maybe we'll talk an episode about demons possessing presidents.
Well, and who
That would
shot
be interesting.
motherfucking JFK? We got to talk about who shot JFK in another podcast because I want to get a hold of that Zapruder film, dude.
And dude, okay, there is. I've got to bring us back to the war between the light and the dark. I've got a story that I think everyone.
Man,
should
how am I
look
the
up.
only guy without stories?
This isn't my story. Don't worry. This one you can look up. I'm thinking everyone should know this story because it's amazing.
Okay.
It's about E. Wesley Smith, the brother of Joseph Fielding Smith.
E. Wesley Smith, the brother of Joseph Fielding Smith. Okay, I'm pulling it up.
Yeah. And I believe he was on his mission at the time. And he was in Hawaii.
Whoa. When Cain appeared to Joseph Fielding Smith's brother and talked with an apostle?
And
what?
so Cain breaks into this guy's apartment.
What?
And he looks at him, has the priesthood appear as a dagger of light in his hand. And he hears a voice say to him, "This is your priesthood." And then he commands Cain in the name of Jesus Christ to leave his apartment, and Cain does.
Whoa.
I've heard about that. I've also heard about him Cain comes to the Hawaii temple right before it's dedicated. And they have to cast him out from walking the building.
Yeah, this is it. That's it.
There's another similar situation. So my great grandfather worked on the baptismal font of the Logan Temple, and right after the Logan Temple was dedicated, or maybe it was right before it was dedicated, the temple president or the person who's going to be the temple president saw a huge crowd of people, and he was like, "What's going on? Like, this is really weird. Like, I didn't call anyone. Like, why are there thousands of people out?" He thought at first it's just a few dozen, that was hundreds, and that looked like there was a group of like 5,000 people. And he like walks outside, and then he talks to the leader, and he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And it's Satan, and he's like, "I'm not a fan of like what you're doing, and like we're gonna make sure like when this temple's like dedicated that." No one's going to come to it. No one's going to actually utilize this temple. So for the first year after the Logan Temple was dedicated, hardly anyone was able to make it. Like, there's so many people that like if they literally physically said like I'm going to go to the temple, something crazy would happen. Like something would happen to their cow, or something would happen to some piece of furniture, or something would happen in their life. Like someone would get sick, something would literally prevent them from getting to the temple. And for the first few years, the people that got to the Logan Temple, they could not say like when it was going to happen. Like they had to be very quiet about it, and they literally just had to run to the Logan Temple, or else like something would prevent them from getting there.
That's cool.
Dude.
Savage.
Wait, okay. So
okay, wrap it up, dog. I'm tired from this. My mind's blown.
This really is just like a after hours special of Midnight Moments, because it's kind of like with George H.W. Bush and furries. But at some point you kind of think that we're in an incredibly spiritual realm of the multiple realms together. And it seems like what Jesus did in the New Testament, he's doing in the spiritual realm of overthrowing. Like, it literally seems like we're following a divine insurrectionist. Like, think about that. For one, you've got these.
Are there going to be hearings for this televised? The divine insurrection.
That the final like in the final war of Satan in Jesus, I've literally always assumed it was a televised debate. Like, I'm not kidding.
Really?
Like, the whole world was watching. Like, I'm seeing it, and Jake Tapper's like, well, I had no clue this is where my career would go. I better win an Emmy for this. Jesus and Satan. They don't need microphones. It's going through the system without mics. It's crazy how they can do that. But so I think you've got all these gods, and you've got foreign gods, and you have fallen angels, and a number of godlike beings of different nations, of everywhere. And they all have a certain way they want humanity to go because they want humanity to go in their favor. And Jesus is the one who's overthrowing the system. And he's the one who covering everyone's sins, having it so they just follow him. And then he's coming in and he's saying, hey, look, there's powerful people and I know them. They're bad gods. I'm the best of the best.
So Jesus does the mafia sit down. He does the mafia sit down. And he's one step away from saying, I'm going to buy you out. I'm going to buy you out with my atonement. I'm going to buy out all your sins. You know?
It sounds crazy, but when you really take a step back and think about it, that's what makes him so powerful. I mean, it's the same thing he's doing in the New Testament. He is now the king of the Jews. He is, he's greater than Caesar. He's overthrowing everything. And what is the most BA move you can make to save all of humanity who hasn't heard your message? Go build a temple. I'm going to give you an esoteric ceremony, and we're going to save your ancestors. These a-hole gods here think they have them. Do it. We're going to save your ancestors.
Oh,
that
dude.
is literally the most I mean, I'm saying it in a funny way, but really think about it. That's what we're doing. Because if you worship the Yoruba god of Shimshambamwe or whatever, and you get there and you're in Shimshambamwe's planet and it's horrible, it sucks. And it's like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. Good thing your great-grandson's LDS. And then suddenly, he's creating the power of us to steal our ancestors away from fallen gods and bring them into the fold. He is hijacking literally all of eternity for good. It is the coolest thing.
Are you saying that, so when you said that guy's planet, are you saying the celestial kingdom is ruled by all of these lesser gods, and that's why it's symbolized as the stars?
Lucifer is a god of this world right now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
A lot of power. But he, I mean, we're in the celestial kingdom right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I do think this. So here, I think it's somewhat speculative, but the spirit world. How do you reconcile people of other, whatever? If someone of a pagan faith who dies, and they have a near-death experience, and let's say they see Pan, the goat guy or whatever, and they're like, I was there. Because this has happened throughout history. People have the near-death experience, they see it, and they die, and they come back.
Yeah.
And the heaven is it's not a Christian heaven, it's a different kind of heaven. There is some argument to the fact that those gods do exist, but they're just bad gods. And they're literally going to the place of where they worship, but they're going to realize how much that place sucks.
Interesting.
So
Christ enables us to steal them back through the atonement. When we're being saviors on Mount Zion, we're pulling those people free.
Okay, Daniel, you started this whole one. Bring us home, dog. You started this, Daniel.
Right. So the priesthood is the power to create universes. It's the power to mold our realities. It's the power of Jesus Christ. It's a power that's the final trump card. It's something that has power over any other priesthood, any other god. It's the final say because Jesus Christ is the ultimate creator. He has the ultimate say, and he's a good God, and he has a moral authority over this universe. And when we're actually able to use the priesthood worthily, we're able to tap into that power and make the final shots. It's real.
Dude, that is straight up Legit. All right. So, moral of the story is take it more seriously or die. No, I'm just kidding. That is epic. All right. Tell us what you guys think in the comments below. Where do we go wrong? Where do we go right? Dan, where can people find you if they want to connect, my man?
Great. You can find me on Twitter, SpeedReadDan, or my Substack, The McKindog Express.
This is Midnight Mormons. See you guys in the next podcast.